Jackson State dominates the SWAC Awards, winning 4 of the Big Five, and also 12 players were recognized by the SWAC. Let's talk about it and what it means for Coach Prime's future. Let's talk about it after the bumper. What is good, everybody? What is good, everybody? This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsyJr YouTube. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, for my Facebook, folks, it's Jeff Lightsy Sports over on Facebook. That is Jeff Lightsy Sports. Go over and head over there. Now, today I'm here to talk about the 12 players that were recognized by the SWAC that come from none other than Jackson State. Jackson State has had a dominant 2-year run throughout the SWAC, going 16-0 as far as conference games, and has just really run ramshot over the conference. I had some close games, though. It's not like they're beating everybody by 40 points, but they've had a very, very successful track record over the last 2 falls and going to back-to-back SWAC championship games, and they will play in the SWAC championship game this weekend against none other than Southern University. Now, I'm here today to take a look at some of the awards that they won. It says over here on the JSU official website, 12 players earned all SWAC football honors. Coach Prime, Shedeur Sanders, Aubrey Miller Jr., Kevin Coleman Jr. win top awards. Jackson State earned 4 major honors as 12 players were named to the all-conference team as the Southwestern Athletic Conference announced all league honors. JSU quarterback Shedeur Sanders was named Offensive Player of the Year. Linebacker Aubrey Miller was named Defensive Player of the Year. The shocker to me was this one. Wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr. was named Freshman of the Year, and Coach Prime Sanders was named Coach of the Year. Sanders and Miller were 2 of the 7 Jackson State players named First Team All-SWAC, alongside running back Savion Wilkerson, offensive lineman Tyler Brown, wide receiver Dallas Daniels, defensive end Niles Gaddy, and safety Cameron Silman Craig. A total of 5 Tigers earned second team honors. Shane Hooks, DJ Stevens, Justin Reagan, who I think could have been on that first team, Isaiah Bolden, and kicker Alejandro Mata. See, Sanders set single season records with 32 touchdowns and completions with 284 while throwing for just over 3,000 yards and a career high 5 touchdowns. He set passing records, all of that good stuff. Sanders is a Walter Payton finalist, FCS Offensive Player of the Year, led Jackson State to his first 11-0 record in program history. Aubrey Miller made 98 tackles, 53 solo, 1 sack, and 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 4 quarterback hits, 5 passing breakups, and 1 touchdown. He's also a finalist for the Buck Buchanan Award, which is the FCS Defensive Player of the Year, and recorded 8+ tackles in a game 7 times, including 4 10+ tackle games. Miller tied a career high with 19 tackles against Texas Southern, 17 against Alabama A&M, and 11 against Alcorn. Miller's the first JSU player to be named Defensive Player of the Year since Keontae Hampton in 2019. Now, this one was the shocker to me. Kevin Coleman, and I guess his kick return, his damage on kick return helped him out a lot here. He had 603 all-purpose yards. This season caught 32 passes for 320 yards and only 1 touchdown. But he averaged 25 yards per kickoff return and 8 yards per punt return. Now, that to me, Travis wasn't eligible. He would have won that award. He had a more impressive season as a freshman than Kevin Coleman. But that's no knock to Kevin Coleman. I think Kevin Coleman will eventually have a really good career. But I think some of the snaps and some of the plays that Willie Gaines made, a lot of us, myself included, thought that Kevin Coleman would make for this team. The Willie Gaines became the deep threat down the field a lot of times in a lot of games. Willie Gaines made some of those big time plays, and Willie Gaines, they targeted Willie Gaines even on some of the passes that he dropped that I thought that those targets would go to Kevin Coleman. But he's a freshman. Every freshman isn't Travis Hunter. Every freshman doesn't have a season like Shedeur Sanders or Cameron Silman Craig, et cetera, et cetera. And so Kevin Coleman will continue to develop. And then obviously Coach Prime went to second consecutive SWAC Coach of the Year, which is very impressive. Now, what does all this mean? I think this – so I talked to Dr. Cavill about this. I asked if Coach Prime's dominance of the SWAC was a bad thing. And Dr. Cavill said, not yet. If he continues to do it on a consistent basis, just dominate the SWAC conference, one, he's eventually going to leave. There's no need to stay in a place where you just feel like the competition is now inferior and not even on par at all with what you're doing at JSU. And that's maybe why he's strongly considering. That gets me to my next point. That may be why he's strongly considering moving on, because maybe he feels, and it's just me assuming, I don't know, I haven't talked to the man, but maybe he feels he's getting to the point to where his coaching, his players, his staff, his, everything that he's doing is outgrowing the SWAC and outgrowing what's taking place in the SWAC. Now, part of why he went to JSU, what he's been stating this entire time, was to make change. And maybe he feels like it's just a question. You let me know in the chat. Let me know. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button as well. Maybe he feels like he has done his job. And the proof is in the pudding. Look at all the new TV deals you got. Look at all the new corporate sponsors that you got. Look at all these players that are being mentioned for national awards that may or may not have been nominated for these national awards before I was here. And look at the way we're dominating. Now, it's only been a few short years, but he hasn't captured a Celebration Bowl just yet. So some people will point, myself included, like, hey, you haven't done that. And HBCU football isn't just the SWAC. The SWAC is a big part of it. Don't get me wrong, the SWAC is a whole lot of it, but it's not just the SWAC. The MEAC got something to say too. And the MEAC had a whole lot to say in last year's Celebration Bowl. And they still have a whole lot more to say, HBCU Nightly included, to say in this year's Celebration Bowl. Because they feel like they're well-deserved and they deserve a chance to beat the best. They feel like they're the best out of the MEAC, and even though they're co-champions, it is what it is. But they feel like they deserve a chance at the best in the other conference in the HBCU National Championship game. But those are things to think about when you hear Prime contemplating and think about some of these jobs. I showed you that tweet that came across. I just want to go ahead and show it now since we were talking about it. This tweet was interesting. I thought I just said, just passing this along. Now, this might be something to ask Coach Prime about when I get down there to Jackson. I will be at the SWAC championship game, by the way, in Jackson, Mississippi this week. This is a reporter out of Tampa, Florida, Kevin O'Donnell. I don't know if I trust the man with the name O'Donnell with no apostrophe, but that is what it is. I ain't going to go too hard on his name. But Mr. O'Donnell Fox 13 says Deion Sanders has been telling recruits he will be at a school on Sunday. Decision appears to be down to Colorado, Cincinnati, and USF. Now, what information Mr. O'Donnell has, I have no idea. I don't know if he's talked to a recruit. I don't know if he's talked to a parent. I don't know if he's talked to these schools directly. But if you click Mr. O'Donnell, first of all, you always got to check. He's a legit reporter. He's got 10,000 followers. And yeah, he's with a real news station. Award winning at WTVT out of Tampa, Florida. So I don't know. We're just checking his credentials. You know what I mean? Make sure he's not a troll. Make sure it makes sense. But this is what Mr. Kevin O'Donnell is putting his credibility on the line. He's willing to do that because he must feel like he's got some good sources. Now, could this backfire on Mr. O'Donnell? Absolutely. Could it backfire on him? Absolutely. If Prime says, yeah, the only school I'm going to is JSU, his credibility is going to take a hit. But we have to put out there what we see. And I think culminating the awards and the dominance of the season, you dominate the SWAC 2 regular seasons in a row. Now you're dominating the awards. The only big-time award that went to somebody else was Jarvion Howard, rightfully so, got Newcomer of the Year. He got Newcomer of the Year in the SWAC, the running back out of Alcorn. Beast, by the way. But all the other awards went to JSU. So you're dominating on the field. You're dominating in the recruiting. Now you're dominating the awards. Maybe you feel like you've accomplished all you need to accomplish. And you've garnered a new level of attention to HBCU football and HBCU sports. Maybe you feel like the job is done. Maybe so. It's just something to consider, right? Because if let me give you an example why he's changed the perspective of HBCU sports, and it'll never be the same because of Prime, whether he leaves this year, next year, or 5 years from now. I think the longer he stays, the bigger it gets, right? Faster, but that doesn't mean it won't get there eventually anyway. But I think the longer he stays, the bigger it gets faster. But here's the thing. Think about it. If Prime converted 1 million new people, and it's more than that, but if he converted 1 million new people or helped convert 1 million new people to be SWAC fans or HBCU sports fans or just Jackson State fans, when and if he leaves, some of them will leave, but not all 1 million. Say if 900,000 leave, which is a big number, and I doubt it'll be that many, 100,000 new fans are still there. Say if 500,000 leave, 500,000 new fans are still there. And here's the thing about Deion Sanders and what he's done at JSU. It's more than 1 million. I can tell you that. HBCU Go, Byron Allen, these guys, Pepsi, and all these people, they're not cutting checks for just 1 million people. They're cutting checks for millions, plural, meaning these TV deals, these corporate sponsor deals, et cetera, et cetera. It's just plural. It's multi-million. So that is the impact he's made. And it is what having, when you get 12 players earn all SWAC honors, it's the type of stuff you get. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Jackson State dominate the SWAC awards with 12 guys recognized, including 3 players in their coach prime, honored with 4 of the 5 major awards. My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe on your way out. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.